There are secrets that, when revealed, shake the foundations of the world's most powerful institutions. What is about to be uncovered will not only change your perspective, but will also make you question everything you thought you knew. From the fall of untouchable figures to decisions that have defied fate, we dive into a journey where each piece of information reveals a darker truth. Here, nothing is what it seems, and every step brings us closer to unraveling the most hidden mysteries. Get ready, because what comes next challenges the limits of the imaginable. Number 1. Trevor Engelson, Meghan Markle's ex-husband. The story of Trevor Engelson, Meghan Markle's first husband, is like a soap opera episode full of unexpected twists. Imagine a successful film producer who met a young, ambitious actress in 2004. Their romance was so passionate that, after 6 years together, they decided to get married. It seemed like the perfect story, but what came next left everyone speechless, especially Trevor. Life seemed to be smiling on this couple as they lived their dream in Hollywood. But Meghan had other plans in mind. After moving to Toronto to work on the series Suits, things started to change as Meghan's career took off. The physical distance between them turned into an emotional chasm. While Trevor continued working in Los Angeles, Meghan was drifting further away, both physically and emotionally. One day, out of the blue, Trevor received an unexpected package: the wedding and engagement rings that Meghan had returned to him in the mail. Yeah, in the mail. Without an emotional goodbye, without a final face-to-face conversation. This left Trevor completely shattered, and according to reports close to him, he still hasn't been able to get over the shock and pain of such an abrupt breakup. But what really happened behind this separation? Some say that Meghan simply saw an opportunity in her career that she wasn't willing to pass up, while others label her as ruthless for how she handled the end of her marriage. This scene has contributed to the narrative that Meghan can be extremely calculating in her personal decisions, making her a target of criticism both in the media and among public figures. Number 2. Cory Vitiello, the Canadian chef. Before Prince Harry came into the picture and changed Meghan Markle's life forever, there was another man who won her heart: Cory Vitiello, a talented Canadian chef. The story between Meghan and Cory is like a gourmet recipe that started off perfectly with all the right ingredients, but in the end, it got burned in the oven. Their relationship started in 2014 when Meghan was living in Toronto and working on the series Suits. They quickly became one of the most eye-catching couples in the city. Cory wasn't just any guy. He was a chef with a great reputation, known for his culinary skills and owner of several restaurants in the city. Meghan, for her part, was on the rise professionally, and besides being an actress, she had a lifestyle blog called The Tig, where she used to write about her personal experiences. It was on that blog where Meghan dedicated several words of admiration to Cory, calling him her favorite chef. Not bad, right? The relationship between the two became stronger, and they even began to share a house in the prestigious Annex neighborhood in Toronto. The two used to attend Canadian high society events together, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. Cory impressed Meghan not only with his cooking, but with his personality, and Meghan never missed an opportunity to publicly praise him. In the eyes of many, this relationship was a modern fairy tale, but as in all good stories, something had to change. In 2016, while Meghan and Cory were still together, a fateful trip happened that would change their lives forever. Meghan was invited to London, and during that trip, she met none other than Prince Harry. It was a meeting that would change everything. Meghan was invited to London, and during that trip, she met none other than Prince Harry. It was a meeting that would change everything. Even though Meghan was still living with Cory, the spark with Prince Harry was so intense that it soon became clear that her relationship with the Canadian chef was coming to an end. When Meghan returned to Toronto after meeting Harry, her relationship with Cory started to fall apart quickly. In just a few months, Meghan was already in London, starting a new romance with the prince, while Cory, shocked and hurt, was left behind. Number 3, Wendy Williams, the television presenter. If there's anyone who has never minced words when it comes to talking about Meghan Markle, it's Wendy Williams, the famous television presenter. Wendy, known for her direct and often controversial style, has not hidden her disdain for Meghan on more than one occasion. And it all started when Meghan, before becoming the Duchess of Sussex, tried to land a job on Wendy's talk show. Yes, that's right, Meghan Markle, the future wife of a prince, wanted to work on Wendy Williams' show. What happened with that? Well, Wendy didn't take long to unleash her verbal artillery to tell the story. The scene is pretty clear. In December 2017, Wendy revealed on her show that Meghan had tried to get a position on her team. However, the tone in which she recounted the incident made it clear that she didn't have much sympathy for the future Duchess. Since that moment, Wendy has been one of the most critical voices against Meghan, and she's shown it every chance she gets. One of the most memorable moments is when Wendy, without any filter, told Meghan on her show, "Nobody feels sorry for you, Meghan. You knew what you were getting into." These words resonated with the audience, and many saw Wendy as someone who was just saying what a lot of people were thinking but no one dared to say. You knew what you were getting into. These words resonated with the public, and many saw Wendy as someone who was simply saying what many thought, but no one dared to say. For Wendy, Meghan wasn't a victim. She was a woman who knew exactly what she was doing by getting involved with the British royal family. Number 4. Daniel Radcliffe, the star of Harry Potter. For Daniel Radcliffe, the world of British royalty has always been something that leaves him perplexed. Daniel has been outspoken about his opinions on the monarchy. Interestingly, Daniel's critical view of the monarchy involves Meghan. Radcliffe sympathizes with Meghan due to media pressure. But what is interesting here is that, although Daniel is not a declared enemy of Meghan, his critical view of the monarchy has put the Duchess at the center of his reflections. In several interviews, Radcliffe has mentioned that he feels some sympathy for Meghan due to the media pressure and the constant scrutiny she faces. However, his dislike of the monarchy as an institution makes his sympathy nuanced. For Daniel, Meghan's entry into the royal family has only served to highlight the deeper problems that exist within the institution. He sees her as a victim of a system that he considers outdated and filled with obsolete traditions. Radcliffe criticizes the British press for reflecting social issues. He sees media coverage of the Duchess of Sussex as highlighting racial and class tensions. Meghan is an easy target for media. In his view, the way the media covers the Duchess of Sussex is a reflection of the racial and class tensions that still persist in British society. For Daniel, Meghan has become an easy target for a media system that loves putting public figures in the spotlight, especially when they are connected to the monarchy. Number 5. Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales. The relationship between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton is one of the most talked about and debated in the recent history of the British royal family. What started as a supposed friendship between sisters-in-law soon turned into a tense rivalry that has captured the attention of both the public and the media. At the center of all this drama is a scene that many consider the infamous bridesmaid dress fitting. It all reportedly started a few days before Meghan's wedding to Prince Harry. The two women were busy organizing the final details for the ceremony, including the fitting for the bridesmaid dresses, which included Kate's daughter, Princess Charlotte. What should have been a joyful and exciting occasion turned into a scene of tears and tension. According to some reports, Meghan made Kate cry during Charlotte's dress fitting. However, in her famous interview with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan denied that version of events, claiming it was Kate who made her cry, not the other way around. This incident was just the beginning of an increasingly tense relationship between the two women. As Meghan adjusted to her new role within the royal family, the differences between her and Kate became more evident. Kate, always the reserved and traditional figure, represented the ideal of what was expected of a future queen consort. Meghan, on the other hand, was seen as a disruptive figure who brought with her a sense of modernity and a less conventional approach to royalty. The tension between the two reached such a point that even Queen Elizabeth II intervened, asking Kate and Meghan to resolve their differences. Although an attempt was made to reconcile the sisters-in-law, the relationship was never the same again. Kate, who has always been cautious about her public image, started to distance herself from Meghan, which only fueled rumors of an internal rivalry. Number 6. Lord Alan Sugar. Lord Alan Sugar, another name that joins the list of critics of Meghan Markle, hasn't hesitated to share his opinions about the Duchess of Sussex. This reflects Lord Sugar's stance and the complex narrative around Meghan, sparking polarized reactions. Although not a figure often involved in royal dramas, Lord Sugar has not hesitated to express his opinions on the Duchess of Sussex, especially in relation to her statements on mental health. This scene is interesting as it reflects Lord Sugar's stance and the complex narrative around Meghan. Meghan and Harry's Oprah interview revealed royal challenges and her mental health struggles. It all started when Meghan and Prince Harry, in their famous interview with Oprah Winfrey, openly discussed the challenges they faced within the royal family, including Meghan's struggle with her mental health. Even though many saw these revelations as a brave act, Lord Sugar had a completely different reaction. For him, Meghan's claims about the lack of support within the palace were hard to believe, especially considering the resources of the British monarchy. In an interview with Great Britain News, Lord Sugar said something that sparked a lot of controversy. For him, Meghan's claims about the lack of support within the palace were hard to believe, especially considering the resources of the British monarchy. In an interview with Great Britain News, Lord Sugar said something that sparked a great deal of controversy. If Meghan really had mental health issues, she could have sought private care. According to his argument, medical visits within the royal family are extremely private and discreet, so Meghan wouldn't have had to make her struggles public. These words, while perhaps not surprising coming from a straightforward figure like Lord Sugar, were seen by many as insensitive and disconnected from the reality of those struggling with mental health issues. But Lord Sugar's criticism didn't stop there. He also suggested that Meghan was using her platform and her status as a royal to manipulate the public narrative in her favor. According to him, Meghan had the ability to solve her problems without needing to expose them to public scrutiny. This statement was seen by some as a minimization of Meghan's suffering, while others praised her for being honest and straightforward. Number 7. Queen Camilla, the consort of King Charles III. The relationship between Meghan Markle and Queen Camilla is another one of those stories filled with unresolved tensions and misunderstandings. Before becoming queen consort, Camilla had already harbored doubts about Meghan and her intentions in entering the royal family. This particular scene focuses on how Camilla viewed Meghan as an ambitious and problematic figure from the start, which set the stage for a strained relationship that never really improved. From the beginning, Camilla watched Meghan with skepticism. Camilla thought Meghan didn't want to leave her career for royal duties. Camilla felt Meghan didn't grasp being in the monarchy. Camilla, a person who had learned to navigate the complexities of royal life over the years, believed that Meghan did not truly understand what it meant to be part of the British monarchy. Over the years, this perception only worsened when Meghan and Harry decided to step down from their roles as senior members of the royal family in 2020. Camilla was one of the most critical of this decision. In his view, Meghan and Harry were not only neglecting their responsibilities, but were also damaging the image of the monarchy. For Camilla, this was confirmation that Meghan wasn't the right person to be in the royal family. A revealing moment in this relationship occurred when Camilla referred to Meghan as mechanical, implying distance. Although there was no public confrontation, tensions were evident. Meghan and Harry's decision to step back deepened the rift with Camilla. Such comments only served to reinforce the distance between the two women, and although there was never a public confrontation between them, the tensions were evident to those close to the royal family. Meghan and Harry's decision to step back from royal duties only deepened the rift between Meghan and Camilla. While Meghan and Harry defended their right to pursue a more private life away from the media spotlight, Camilla saw their decision as an act of selfishness. According to some reports, Camilla even went so far as to say privately that Meghan was jeopardizing the stability of the royal family, something she had worked for years to maintain. Number 8. Piers Morgan, the British host. If there's anyone who's been consistent and fierce in his criticism of Meghan Markle, it's Piers Morgan. The relationship between them started off friendly, but it soon turned into one of the most public and controversial feuds of the last decade. This scene explores how Piers, one of the most famous presenters in the UK, has turned his dislike for Meghan into a sort of personal mission. It all started in 2016 when Meghan and Piers met in London. At that time, Meghan was an actress and blogger, and she sent a message to Piers through Twitter, which led to them meeting up for drinks. According to Piers, they had a nice conversation and got along well. However, everything changed when Meghan met Prince Harry. After that meeting, Meghan stopped responding to Piers' messages, which he took as a personal snub. Since then, Piers Morgan has been one of Meghan Markle's harshest critics. He has repeatedly called her a fraud, narcissist, hypocrite, and manipulator. Over the years, he has used his platform on television and social media to lash out at Meghan, and his obsession with her has been evident on numerous occasions. Many see this behavior as an emotional response to what Piers considers a personal betrayal. One of the most shocking moments of this feud happened in 2021, when Piers stormed off the set of Good Morning Britain after a heated discussion about Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah Winfrey. In that interview, Meghan spoke about her struggles with mental health and racism within the royal family, prompting an outpouring of support for the Duchess around the world. However, Piers didn't believe a word of what Meghan said and made that clear on his show. His refusal to retract his comments, despite public pressure, ultimately led to him leaving Good Morning Britain. Number 9. Samantha Grant, Meghan's half-sister. Samantha Grant, Meghan Markle's half-sister, is another key character in the narrative of criticism and family tensions surrounding the Duchess of Sussex. SOS/EOS. Unlike some critics, Samantha has a personal relationship with Meghan, although that relationship has been anything but close. This scene shows how Samantha, Meghan's sister, attacked the Duchess. They share the same father, Thomas Markle, but grew. Samantha and Meghan share the same father, Thomas Markle, but they grew up apart due to the significant age difference between them, 17 years to be exact. Although they had little contact in their youth, it was when Meghan's relationship with Prince Harry became public that Samantha began to strongly criticize her sister. Samantha sees Meghan as an opportunist using her royal ties for career and fame. She accuses Meghan of selfishness and exploiting family for gain. Samantha criticizes Meghan for allegedly erasing her paternal family, claiming self-made status while using others. A key moment in their feud is Samantha's book, The Diary of Princess Pushy Sister, alleging Meghan manipulates her public image to seem a victim of family and media. Samantha criticizes Meghan for erasing her paternal family. Samantha claims Meghan used others to succeed. Samantha's book, The Diary of Princess Pushy Sister, alleges Meghan manipulated the narrative. Many saw the book as an attempt to profit from Meghan's fame. One of the most shocking moments of this feud was when Samantha published a book titled The Diary of Princess Pushy Sister, in which she shares her version of Meghan's life and how, according to her, the Duchess has manipulated the public narrative to appear as a victim of family circumstances and media scrutiny. This book was seen by many as an attempt to cash in on Meghan's fame, which only added more tension to their relationship. Number 10. Donald Trump, former president of the U.S. The 45th president of the U.S. He has never been shy about expressing his opinions, and Meghan Markle has been no exception. Over the years, Trump has made several public statements about Meghan, and none of them have been particularly kind. This scene explores how Trump has been one of Meghan's most prominent critics, even going so far as to predict the collapse of her marriage to Prince Harry. It all started in 2016 when Meghan, still an actress and star of Suits, appeared on a late-night talk show and was asked about Donald Trump, who at that time was in the midst of his campaign to become president. Meghan, with her characteristic frankness, didn't hesitate to label Trump as a misogynist and stated that if he won the presidency, she would consider moving to Canada. These statements, while typical in the context of American politics, laid the groundwork for what would later become a tense relationship between the two. Trump, as is his wont, was quick to respond in a later interview. When asked about Meghan's comments, he said he didn't know she was so nasty. Despite that initial comment, Trump softened his stance and later, during his official visit to the UK in 2019, he even said that he thought Meghan would do well in her new role as a member of the royal family. However, this was just a temporary truce in the war of words between the two. Number 11. Candace Owens, a prominent conservative commentator, is a well-known critic of Meghan Markle. Owens has consistently expressed her discontent with Meghan, particularly regarding the racism claims Meghan made about her royal family experience. In this scene, Owens emerges as both a critic of Meghan and a defender of traditional values, which she believes Meghan challenges. The feud between Owens and Meghan intensified after Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021. In this scene, Owens presents herself not only as a critic of Meghan, but also as a defender of the traditional values that she says Meghan has challenged. The feud between Candace Owens and Meghan began to intensify after Meghan and Harry's famous interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021. During that interview, Meghan talked about her experience within the royal family, including revealing that some family members had expressed concerns about the color of her son Archie's skin before he was born. These statements generated a wave of support for Meghan, but also provoked a negative reaction among certain conservative sectors, including Candace Owens. Owens, a defender of conservatism, responded to Meghan's statements. Owens criticized Meghan for playing the victim card, calling her accusations of racism exaggerated and insincere. She believed Meghan used her royal family experience to gain public sympathy and push a political agenda. For Owens, Meghan's accusations of racism were exaggerated and disingenuous. In her view, Meghan was using her experience in the royal family to win public sympathy and push a political agenda. Owens criticizes Meghan's privilege. Meghan, privileged, can't discuss oppression. For Candace, Meghan can't talk about oppression or discrimination when she's been a privileged figure for most of her life, first as a Hollywood actress and then as a member of the British royal family. According to Owens, it's inappropriate for Meghan to present herself as a victim, given the level of privilege and opportunities she's had over the years. Number 12. Katie Hopkins, the British personality. Known for her provocative style and biting comments, is another figure who hasn't hesitated to lash out at Meghan Markle. From the very start of Meghan's relationship with Prince Harry, Hopkins has been one of her harshest critics, and her comments have sparked controversy on multiple occasions. This scene explores how Hopkins has used her media platform to attack Meghan, especially regarding her departure from the royal family and her apparent desire for privacy. For Katie Hopkins, Meghan is a figure who has actively sought fame, but at the same time tries to escape the consequences of being a public person. Since Meghan and Harry announced their decision to leave the royal family and move to the US, Hopkins has been one of the most critical voices regarding this move. In her opinion, Meghan and Harry are trying to have the best of both worlds, enjoying the fame and status that comes with their relationship to the monarchy, but without taking on the responsibilities that come with being a part of it. Hopkins criticizes Meghan's social media activism, calling her Instagram obsessed. She compares Meghan to an American Kate Middleton. Hopkins has claimed on several occasions that Meghan is obsessed with Instagram and that her life revolves around projecting an image of perfection instead of being authentic. For Hopkins, Meghan is an American version of Kate Middleton, but without the grace and composure that, according to her, defines the Duchess of Cambridge. Number 13. Kelly Rowland, the American pop star. Meghan Markle's relationship with American celebrities has always been a source of curiosity. One of the most unexpected figures in this scene is Kelly Rowland, the famous American singer and former member of Destiny's Child. Kelly and Meghan crossed paths at an iconic event that left many talking about Beyoncé's concert in Los Angeles during her Renaissance tour in 2023. Although this meeting seemed to be a moment of pure camaraderie between two public figures, behind the smile was hidden a detail that made everything a little more fun. In an interview, Kelly Rowland shared her excitement at meeting Meghan in person during the concert. According to Kelly, Meghan struck her as a calm, sensible, and warm person. For many, this seemed like the start of a beautiful friendship between two powerful and successful women, both prominent figures in entertainment and royalty. However, this is where things take a comedic turn. Later, it was revealed that Kelly and Meghan had actually met before. The first meeting between Kelly Rowland and Meghan Markle had taken place in 2014, during New York Fashion Week. At that time, Meghan was an actress on Suits and a writer for the blog The Tig. She had posted a photo on her blog where she appeared alongside Kelly at a fashion event. The fact that neither of them remembered their first meeting created a kind of humorous confusion. Meghan and Kelly seemed to have completely forgotten that they had already met, which led to a little but funny anecdote. Despite this slip of memory, Kelly had nothing but good words for Meghan. In her interview, she stressed that Meghan had always had a royal presence, even before she became a duchess. For Kelly, Meghan was someone who radiated confidence and kindness, and even though their meeting at the Beyoncé concert was brief, it left a positive impression on the pop star. Number 14, Simi Garwell, the British presenter, is another figure who has shared strong opinions about Meghan Markle. Unlike some celebrities who have taken a softer or more neutral approach, Simi had no qualms about expressing what she thought, and her initial criticism was one of the harshest ever made about Meghan. The story began shortly after Meghan and Prince Harry's famous interview with Oprah Winfrey, when Simi decided to make her opinions about the Duchess public. During an episode of her talk show, Simi Garwell didn't hold back and called Meghan evil. For many, this was a surprisingly strong word, especially at a time when the public narrative around Meghan was very polarized. During an episode of her talk show, Simi Garwell did not mince words and called Meghan evil. For many, this was a surprisingly strong word, especially at a time when the public narrative around Meghan was highly polarized. However, Simi didn't stop there. She continued to criticize Meghan, accusing her of lying about her relationship with the royal family and manipulating conversations about racism and mental health to gain sympathy. What really caught attention was when Simi, a few days after her initial comment, decided to partially retract her words. Instead of calling Meghan evil, she chose a slightly less aggressive term, calculating. In her opinion, Meghan wasn't evil, but she was extremely shrewd and manipulative, using circumstances to her advantage to gain control over the public narrative. Calculator. In her opinion, Meghan wasn't evil, but she was extremely shrewd and manipulative, using circumstances to her advantage to gain control over the public narrative. This change in tone didn't go unnoticed, and many wondered if Simi felt pressured to soften her initial criticism. Number 15. Bethenny Frankel, star of Real Housewives. Known for her role on Real Housewives of New York and her no-filter personality, she's not someone who stays quiet when she has an opinion on a topic, and Meghan Markle was no exception. While Bethenny doesn't have a personal connection with Meghan, that didn't stop her from openly expressing what she thought about the Duchess and her media behavior. This scene dives into how Bethenny joined the list of celebrities who have criticized Meghan, but she did it from a unique perspective. While Bethenny has no personal connection to Meghan, that didn't stop her from being vocal about what she thought about the Duchess and her media behavior. This scene explores Bethenny's unique criticism of Meghan, highlighting her career of candid opinions. Bethenny felt Meghan exaggerated her victim role, finding the narrative of unfair treatment by media and royalty unconvincing. Meghan's journey from unknown actress to a high-profile figure married to a prince wasn't tragic, as she expressed on social media. For Bethenny, the narrative that Meghan had been treated unfairly by the media and the royal family was not entirely convincing. In her view, Meghan had gone from being an unknown actress to a high-profile figure married to a prince, and that was not a tragic journey, as she expressed on her social media. In one of his most notable critiques, Bethenny tweeted, "Cry a river." This simple sentence encapsulated his feeling that Meghan should not seek public sympathy, given the level of privilege and wealth she had acquired. For many, this comment was seen as insensitive, especially at a time when Meghan had revealed very personal details about her struggle with mental health and racism. However, for Bethenny, these revelations didn't justify Meghan's reaction or her apparent need to be seen as a victim. What made Bethenny's critique especially notable was her ability to frame the situation in terms of celebrity and public perception. Bethenny is someone who has been at the center of media attention for years and understands how the fame machine works. In her opinion, Meghan was using her royal status to stay relevant in the media, something Bethenny didn't find admirable. In fact, on several occasions, Frankel hinted that Meghan was more interested in maintaining her fame than in protecting her privacy. 2001.